four family: Brassicaceae, Fabaceae, Solanaceae, and the Liliaceae. So now we are start with the first one with respect to Brassicaceae. So we try to understand the diagrammatic representation and the formula, and we are not taking other part because all those are the stuff material according to NEET point of view. So we'll try to understand very important point only. So first of all, we are talking about Brassicaceae family, mustard family, right? In case of the Brassicaceae family, first of all, we draw the what is the exactly formula. So number one, we are talking about flower. Basically, they are actinomorphic. So for the actinomorphic, these are the symbol. Now flower basically it is bisexual. These are the symbol for the bisexual. Now we are talking about calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. So calyx simply it is represented by 2 plus 2. Now corolla represented by 4. Androecium represented by 2 plus 4, 2 outer, 4 toward the inner side. And finally, gynoecium, it is simply represented by like this. So we try to understand how to learn these all names because isko thoda practice chahiye. You have to practice it. So now first of all, we try to understand one by one what is the exactly meaning and how we represent such condition. In case of the Brassicaceae family, I hope you remember, हमने पहले भी discuss किया था. There is a specific type of the petals arrangement are there, that is cruciform corolla. Cruciform is what? X shape, right? Cruciform corolla. So now we are talking about ये जो condition है, this one, this condition, it is represented for the flower. That flower basically they are actinomorphic. Now this symbol, this one, it is represented, that is flower basically they are bisexual. Okay, now we are trying to understand what is the meaning of the K. So in case of the K, simply we are talking about first one, K2 plus 2. Okay, K2 plus 2. First one, total 2 means total we have to draw total 4 sepals because K represent for the sepals. So now here we are talking about that is part of the sepal. Sepal arrangement basically 2 plus 2. It means that 2 present toward the outer side and the remaining 2 they present toward the inner side. Total 4A, no doubt, but plus sign it is represent exactly position. 2 present toward the outer and the 2 present toward the inner side. In case of the what we say, that is K2 plus 2 for the calyx, for the sepals. So just quickly we draw 2 outer and the 2 inner side. These are the 2 which is located toward the outer side. And now we try to draw 2 towards the inner. Exactly. So this outermost layer, it is represented by calyx, K for the calyx, that is sepals arrangement 2 plus 2, 2 present toward the outer side and 2 present toward the inner side. Now inside the calyx, now there is a second one, that is corolla. Corolla basically 4. 4 means what? Without bracket, it means that they can maintain their individual personality. So we are trying to draw 4 corolla, 4 petals, and please remember in this condition we are talking about the petals and such type of this petal total number 4. But now in case of the Brassicaceae, corolla basically they are showing arrangement cruciform arrangement, and you know very well cruciform corolla nothing but it look like a X shape but without fusion. So we'll try to draw those structure. So 1, 2, 3, and now these are the 4. One petal, another petal, third petal, and finally this one the fourth petal. So petals basically they are showing cruciform corolla, and now these are the typical kind of the arrangement. Now next part, that is androecium. When we are talking about the androecium, nothing but we are talking about that is a part of the stamen. So now what happened? Stamen again they are showing arrangement 2 and 4. So obvious hai, 2 they are present, 2 plus 4 means 2 present toward the outer side, and the remaining 4 they present toward the inner side. So we try to draw those also. So quickly we are talking about, these are the part of the androecium. So 2 basically they present toward the outer side like this, part of the androecium. And now remaining 4. 1, 2, 3, and now these are the 4. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 outer side and the remaining 4, these are the inner side. And finally, at the center, there is a presence of the gynoecium. And you know very well, whenever we are talking about the gynoecium, that is ovary, carpel, stigma, entire carpel, or whenever we are talking about. So whenever we are talking about the Brassicaceae family, number 1, in formula we clearly mention G and bar present below the G. It means that ovary basically superior. So number 1 point, superior ovary. And you know very well, superior ovary simply represented by capital G and bar which is present below. So that is superior. Now bracket represent. Bracket means what? Now that all whatever we are talking about ovary they are showing fusion. And you know very well, such type of this fusion simply use the word that is syncarpus. So ovary basically these are the syncarpus ovary, that is fused ovary. And how many numbers of the ovary? Obviously 2 ovaries are present, right? And one important thing, in case of the gynoecium there is a presence of the rhapellum, and you know very well, rhapellum is present, it means that false septa, false wall is present. Rhapellum also called as the false wall, false septa is present. So again, these are the characteristic feature in case of the Brassicaceae. Okay. So superior ovary pattern, 2 ovaries are present. Both the ovary they are showing fusion, that is syncarpus ovary. And finally, we have to represent a boundary, a wall between that two placental part, and there is a that false wall, false septa. Simply, it is called as the rhapellum. Got it? Rhapellum. So quickly we draw the structure at the center. Suppose these are the placenta, and on the placenta now there is a presence of the ovary, and between this now finally there is a formation of the rhapellum. So this white color, nothing but you know very well, these are called as the rhapellum at the center. Okay. It's called as rhapellum, that is false wall. Just quickly check this diagram. I'm telling you आपको diagram कहीं पे draw नहीं करना है, but you have to recognize. So don't waste your time right now to draw the diagram. At the end of the class, I will share entire whiteboard link. So जब time होगा आपको after evening, once class is finished, आराम से बैठ के diagram draw कर लेना. Okay? But sometime question will be asked, formula, another type of the question, diagram. So you have to recognize the diagram also. Okay? So for this point, again I'm telling you, use photo memory. Done? Done? Don't waste your time though for the writing right now. I'll share the entire screen so you can draw there. But try to understand the formula, because you have to learn that, but you have to understand also why such type of the formalities get designed. Deepika. Okay, should I continue next family? Okay, so next one we are trying to understand exactly difference between the Fabaceae, Solanaceae and the Liliaceae family. So number second, just 1 second. Okay. So next family number 2, we are talking about Fabaceae family, and you know very well. So many times we repeated this point. Under the Fabaceae family, basically examples those are coming. Number 1 that is bean, and the another one that is pea plant. So we'll discuss that part collectively. We'll talk about. But first of all, we talk about what is the meaning of the Fabaceae family. In case of the Fabaceae family, first of all, we are using Br, that is Bractis present. Now flower basically they are actinomorphic, so these are the symbol for the actinomorphic. Again flower basically they are bisexual, so for this bisexual these are the symbol. Now we are talking about K, that is calyx. Again bracket and 5, it means that total 4 sepals are present, and all those 4 sepals they attach with each other, they join with each other. After the K we are talking about C, and C nothing but that is corolla. Just 1 second. Two percent. Yeah. So Fabaceae family, practice present. Again, actinomorphic, sorry, zygomorphic flower. Then flower is bisexual. K5 means total 4 sepals are present, and all they are fused with each other. Another important point we are talking about the corolla. Corolla they are showing 1 plus 2 plus 2, but 2 now these are inside the bracket. And you know very well such condition it is responsible for such kind of this auxiliary estivation, 1 plus 2 plus 2. Now again part of the androecium now they are present 9, that is 9 they are showing fusion plus 1, ये भी हमने part देख चुके थे. And finally we are talking about gynoecium, and in case of the Fabaceae family single gynoecium is present, only single gynoecium is present. That's why we are talking about superior ovary and represented by only one single gynoecium, G1. Now we try to draw the diagram also quickly. Axillary estivation है, so that's why we can get something elongated structure. Okay, so first of all we try to draw outermost layer, that is part of K, calyx, total 5, and they are showing the fusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally these are the last one, that is 5th. These are the 5th. So total 5 sepals are present, and all those 5 sepals they join with each other. So for the joining I'm using some point, some highlighter like, so they are showing the joining like this. So these are the first joining, now the second joining, these are the third joining, fourth one, and finally 5th one. So total 5 sepals are present, and all those 5 sepals they attach with each other, they join with each other. So simply joining is present, and you know very well such joining, such fusion simply represented by a bracket, right? There is a presence of the calyx and total 5. Now next part we are talking about part of the corolla. 1 plus 2 and 2 they are present inside the bracket. And the maxillary estivation is present. It means that we have to draw number 1, that is standard, which is the largest one. Suppose these are the number 1. Then number 2nd, alley, according to maxillary estivation. So these are the part of the alley. And finally, there is a presence of last one, that is keel or carina. And you know very well that keel and the carina, they join with each other because we are using 2 but inside bracket. So such kind of this condition is present, and such kind of this estivation simply it is called as the maxillary estivation. See 1 plus 2 plus 2, but 2 they are present inside the bracket. Now next one we are talking about part of the androecium. 9 together they are showing fusion and 1 they present alone. So ये single हो गया. These are the single androecium which is present, and the remaining 9 they are present here. So I'm just giving just circle because it's too complicated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. So these are the total conditions. Total 9 androeciums are present. They are attached with each other. 1 remains single and remaining 9 they attach with each other. And finally we are talking about that is gynoecium part. And gynoecium, single gynoecium is present like this. Single compartment because monocarpellary hai obviously. And now there is a presence of what happened? Screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Rest of portions get lost. Okay, let's quickly draw. Just have patience. C1 plus 2 plus 2 into bracket. Now the androecium. 9 plus 1 gynoecium G bar 1. C5 and they are showing attachment 1, 2, 3, number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and finally these are the fifth. All they are joined with each other. So C5, 5 inside the bracket. Now we are talking about next part with respect to C1 plus 2 inside the bracket. So outermost, which is the largest one. Now the innermost alley, two alleys are present. They are not showing the fusion at all. And finally, we are talking about there is a innermost petals, that is keel or carina. Now androecium, single androecium is present, and remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now these are the 9. So total 9 they are arranged with each other and the join. Finally, we are talking about at the center gynoecium is present, single gynoecium present, and now from the gynoecium there is a presence of the origin of ovule. So single compartment is present. So single ovule is present. Obviously, whenever we are talking about gynoecium, these are the monocarpellary. First one, another one. Whatever we are talking about the ovary pattern, that ovary basically again superior ovary, and superior ovary represented by like this, capital G and bar below. Okay, so these are the simple characteristic feature for the Fabaceae family. So in case of the Fabaceae family, number one, what we discussed, there is a presence of the estivation, that is vexillary estivation. Vexillary estivation is present. Number second, again they are showing placentation, that is marginal placentation, margin, which is very much common in pea and the bee plant. So marginal placentation. Also, these are the very much common. Now, after the Fabaceae family, we are talking about the Solanaceae family, potato family, and characteristic feature of the potato family, that is swollen placenta. One question from swollen placenta. So, number second point, family, Solanaceae family, that is potato family. And in case of the potato family, simply we are taking the formula. Flower basically they are actinomorphic. Flower basically bisexual. Now K5, but all they are present in a bracket, means they are showing fusion. Now C, again in case of the C, 5, but again they are showing fusion. Now there is a presence of the androecium. Androecium also they are 5, but they are present in a free form. And finally gynoecium, superior ovary, bicarpellary ovary. And most important thing, now that androecium it is attached to corolla. So can you tell me, if androecium, if stamen it is attached to corolla, such kind of this condition क्या कहेंगे हम इसको, when stamen it is attached to corolla, called as, quickly tell me, when, yes, it is a epipetalous condition. Such condition it is called as the epipetalous condition. So please remember one question, epipetalous condition is present in case of the Solanaceae family. Another question, in case of the Solanaceae family, it's very important, it has placenta, but it has this swollen placenta. Question which is already asked in previous NEET. Swollen placenta. So we'll try to understand via this formula what is meaning of this swollen placenta. Okay. So first of all, we are talking about K5, which is attached with the each other. One, two, three, four, and now 5. So 5 sepals are present, and all those 5 sepals they attach with the each other, they fused. So for the fusion, we are using such condition. Now another condition again C5, C5 that is corolla number is 5. So these are the number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and this one 5. So again number of the petals, total 5 in number. And again they are showing fusion. So for the fusion we are using the same symbol like this. All the sepals they attach with each other because they are gamopetalous condition. Another point, we have to represent epipetalous condition. Epipetalous means what? That is androecium they attach to the corolla. So now such condition we are represent like this attachment. So how many androeciums are present? Total 5, but they not attach with each other. But androecium they attach with petals. They attach with corolla. So you can simply represent like this. Okay. And finally, we are talking about part of the ovary, which is a very, very important point. Basically, when we are talking about bicarpellary ovary is present, and most important thing, placenta, these are the swollen. So just quickly check what is meaning of the swollen placenta. Okay, हम थोड़ा सा इसको zoom कर रहे हैं, so we'll get the clear cut idea. Now, like this. So it has the two compartment because bicarpellary ovary is present. So we have to draw the two compartment, but the internal part it's quite swollen like this. Okay, swollen. And whatever we are talking about, the ovule, all the ovule they arrange like this. So we have to represent swollen placenta. So where the swollen placenta is present? It present exactly at the central part. So the central part simply it is called as the swollen placenta. If is this any diagram on the Solanaceae family, just I'll give you the one keyword. Okay. Uh, Once we complete the Liliaceae family, then I'll show the entire structure, how to remember, how to create a photo memory. No remember entire sepal, petal, how they are arranged. Each and every diagram, they have some unique specificity. So you have to remember only those parts. So remember, whenever we are talking about the Solanaceae family, just see towards the ovary. Ovary, bicarpellary, divided into two compartments, and the central part it should be swollen because swollen placenta they are characteristic feature of Solanaceae family. Got it? When you compare to Fabaceae family, remember this point during the Fabaceae family, you have to find out vexillary aestivation. And what is meaning of the vexillary aestivation? Like one petal is large, two petals they are small but free, and remaining two petals they are small in size and they are showing fused with each other. So just find out vexillary aestivation so you get clearly identified which is the Fabaceae family. If you identify Solanaceae family, focus on the placenta. That is placenta should be swollen. Okay. And the next one, even in case of the brassicaceae also, you have to remember replum because replum these are the very unique which is present only and only in case of the brassicaceae family. So these are the three unique parameters. And now we are talking about the last part with respect to Liliaceae family, and that is also same because in case of the Liliaceae family, sepal and the petal both they are morphologically similar. जैसे हम यहाँ पे draw करते हैं ना, like see, outer side we draw the sepals, we draw like a something a broad, petals we draw something long elongated. But when you draw Liliaceae, sepal petal morphologically they are exactly similar with each other. So last family, that is Liliaceae family, fourth one. Liliaceae family. In case of the Liliaceae family, again floral formula, flower is actinomorphic, flower is bisexual. Very important step, P. P stand for the perianth. So P hoga capital P. Now P represent by 3 plus 3 means 3 present toward the outer side and 3 present toward the inner side. Again, androecium. Androecium now again they are present in a characteristic feature that is 3 plus 3. And finally presence of the gynoecium. Gynoecium basically they are fused plus tricarpellary. So very easy. Fabaceae family, monocarpellary. Solanaceae family, bicarpellary. Liliaceae family, tricarpellary. Even in case of the brassicaceae also bicarpellary ovary is present. Okay? Very simple to remember. Now, next part, we'll try to draw the diagram also. Okay, P 3 plus 3 means 3 toward the outer side and 3 towards the inner side. And one important thing, androecium, that is stamen, it is attached to perianth. So could you please tell me such condition called as, when stamen it is attached to perianth, stamen it is attached to perianth, this condition called as, quickly tell me. Stamen attached to perianth. Yes, it is a epiphyllous, not epipetalous. It is a epiphyllous, also called as the epitepalous condition. So such condition simply represented by a single word, that is epiphyllous condition. Okay, epiphyllous. So quickly we draw the structure, entire structure, how it is exactly look. So morphology दोनों similar है, and now they are present in the form of 3 plus 3, 3 outer side and the 3 inner side. So quickly we draw like that. So 1 2 3, ये 1 हुआ, then this one the 2, and finally we are talking about these are the 3. So basically they are present toward the 3 present toward the outer side like this, and all another one we are talking about 3, they are arranged, they are present toward the inner side also. So quickly draw the inner side also. 1 2 and 3. So 3 outer side and the 3 they are present toward the inner side. Okay, such condition, 3 outer 3 inner. So P 3 plus 3. Sometime if you open the NCERT, आपको ये भी formula मिल जाएगा, because both these are the correct. So I'm giving this formula also. Sometime ये formula भी correct होता है, means entire rest of thing is same similar, but only change with period, that is P 3 plus 3, but all those are present in a bracket. So please consider ये भी correct है, these are also correct, ये भी correct है without bracket, with bracket also correct. So please you have to focus on the diagram में अगर fusion है, so you can consider that part. If there is a not fusion, then you can consider the simple one which we draw here. So both are correct. Okay, now next part, androecium. Androecium basically 3 plus 3 means what, 3 attached toward the outer side and 3 attached to the inner side, but again they are showing epiphyllous condition, means we have to show the arrangement attachment site also. So for example 1 2 3, these 3 present toward the inner side and they attach to perianth like this. These 3 they present to perianth and again they are present toward the outer side. So internal fusion nahi hai, but they are showing attachment with perianth. So 3 plus 3, 3 outer side and 3 inner side. That's it. And finally we are talking about the part of the gynoecium. And gynoecium basically they are tricarpellary. Tricarpellary means what? 3 compartments are present like this. 1 2 3. And whenever we are talking about placenta, यहाँ पे present होगा, and on placenta there is a presence of ovule like this. So ovary basically tricarpellary, 3 compartments are present. Another one, ovary pattern, basically they are superior ovary. And superior ovary represented by capital G bar below. Okay. Yeah. So I just discussed, if you want to focus on the Fabaceae family, just see the sepal part. Fusion, C plus 2 plus 2 into bracket, that is vexillary restoration. Find out the Solanaceae, just see the swollen placenta. If you find out the Liliaceae, just focus on the 3. सब कुछ 3 है देखो. Perianth also 3, androecium also they are present in a 3, gynoecium also they are present in 3. So 3 formula, 3 3 3. And again, that is sepal and the petal, they are morphologically similar. That's why we are talking about perianth or tepal. And Brassicaceae family, just find out the reticulum part, because reticulum, false wall segment or wall is present, represent the reticulum. Got it? Clear? थोड़ा सा मेहनत है actually, because you have to learn all those formulas. Without learning नहीं होगा, but I am telling you use photo memory for this chapter for the floral family. Otherwise बहुत कुछ mashup होगा and create lengthiness. So use photo memory and just you have to remember only 4 formulas because if you read the modules वहाँ पे बहुत कुछ दिया हुआ है like Asteraceae family, Poaceae family. So no need to remember all those. According to our syllabus, just focus on the 4 family formula. That's it. Done. Done. Last point of this chapter, we are talking about economic importance of floral family. Economic importance of the floral family. And again, this point is important, neat point of view. First one, we are talking about family, Fabaceae family. In case of the Fabaceae family, we are taking few examples with their use. Number one, we are talking about as a food. So as a food, or in other language, you can say as a pulses. So in this Fabaceae family, as a food, you can use arhar. Arhar basically these are the one type of the dal. Again, you can use soybean. Soybean again it is belonging to Fabaceae family. Again, gram. Gram also they are belonging to Fabaceae family. You know very well. Again, Pisum sativum and as well as beans, they are also belongs to food category. So again, they are come under the Fabaceae family. Next point we are talking about as a medicine, medicinal value. As a medicine, we are taking one example, Glacyrrhiza. Glacyrrhiza. Glacyrrhiza, basically these are the example of the plant which is used in treatment like bronchitis. It is used in bronchitis treatment. So again, it has some medicinal value. Next one, we are talking about as a oil. So in a oil category, again, soybean repeat hoga and groundnut also because they are also belonging to Fabaceae family. So they are used as a oil. Sometimes you can use as a ornamental. You know very well ornamental means they're having some attractive leaves or some attractive parameters are there. That's why they act as a ornamental. And in case of the ornamental, one example, sweet pea. Another example, lupine. So sweet pea and the lupine, they are example for the ornamental. Next one we are talking about as a fiber. Okay, fiber means these are the part of the xylem fiber or phloem fiber who has the, some commercial value used for the preparation of the different kind of the furniture or some ornamental which is prepared mostly which is made up by the wooden particles. So fiber. So in case of the fiber, we are taking one example of the plant that is sun hemp. Sun hemp. And the last one we are talking about one fodder plant. You know very well fodder plant means basically these are the animal feeded plant, fodder plant. And one example, trifolium, very much common, trifolium. And the another example, susbania. Okay, so quickly check these are the some economic importance as a food, as a medicine, as a oil, ornamental, fiber, as well as the fodder plants, that is animal feeded plant. Done. Done this part. Chalo, should I continue? नेक्स्ट पार्ट सोलानेसी फैमिली. बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन डिजाइन हुए स्पेशली चिली. स्पेशली चिली. सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट नंबर सेकंड इकोनॉमिक इंपॉर्टेंट दैट इज सोलानेसी फैमिली. Potato family. In case of the potato family, first category we are taking as a food, you know very well, tomato. then potato, as well as brinjal. They belonging Solanaceae family, and as well as their food, source is food. Another one we are talking about as a spices. So you know very well chili. Yes, chilies basically they are used, and so many times this question asks chili it is belonging to what? Chili एक पूछा गया बहुत बार, and another one that is tobacco because tobacco also belonging to Solanaceae family. Okay, so spices chili is belonging to Solanaceae family. Another one we are talking about as a fumigatory. So as a fumigatory, you know very well tobacco. So again tobacco, these are the neat favorite example. Hmm? Another one we are talking about as a ornamental. So petunia act as a ornamental. Next one we are talking about as a medicine. So basically बहुत सारे category है इसमें, but we have to focus only two example. Number one that is ashwagandha. First one, ashwagandha. You know very well, ashwagandha it is a natural immune booster, and जितने भी immune booster के tablets है और whatever the काढ़ा or everything, in case of ashwagandha these are the very basic medicine. And whenever we are talking about the ashwagandha scientific name, it's for your understanding purpose, that is Vidyanam somnifera. Okay, another one, another example we are talking about Atropa. Atropa belladonna. Atropa belladonna basically is this any something during the poisoning treatment. So as an antidote इसको use किया जाता है. Atropa. These are the one plant which is belonging to Solanaceae family, and whenever we are talking about uses, that is it is used as a antidote during poison treatment. That's it. Okay. Again for this you have to use the photo memory because बहुत simple straightforward questions होते हैं, and economic importance these are also important. Last point, Liliaceae family. Under the Liliaceae family, obviously lily is example. Next point, Liliaceae family. In case of the Liliaceae family, first of all, we are talking about as a vegetables, means as a food actually. One example, asparagus. Asparagus belonging to Liliaceae family and used as a food. Another one as a medicine. Best example, aloe vera. So आपने देखा भी होगा in case of the aloe vera, basically sepals and petal we cannot distinguish those parts, so obviously they are morphologically they are look similar, that's why they belonging to Perian, that is Liliaceae family. Another one we are talking about as a ornamental. In case of the ornamental we are taking one example, tulip, and the another one gloriosa. Gloriosa, okay. And the last one which is a very much common and again question from this point, as a drug, and name of the drug, colchicine. You know very well, colchicine basically they are responsible for the polyploidy. Again, they block the mitosis process, and such colchicine drug they obtain from the plant colchicum. Okay, so they obtain from the plant colchicum. So when they start, means now we complete this part, means entire morphology. Now we start with the 12th standard first chapter. Again we required I think this class and next class, that's it, we finish the part. Again from the next class I'll start cell chapter, उसके बाद हम start करेंगे cell cycle, cell division, then we start with the anatomy, and finally we talk about plant physiology. Okay, so these are the few examples with respect to Liliaceae family with their economic importance, and one question already asked related to colchicine drug. Colchicine drug create polyploidy, chromosome number increase करेगा, and as well as they are responsible for block the metaphase. they bind with the spindle fiber and they stop the movement of the spindle fiber. So those part we'll discuss in cell cycle, cell division. Okay. So with this, we end chapter morphology of flowering plant. So any doubt from this chapter, guys? Any doubt from this chapter? Again, I am telling you this chapter is very easy. जितना NCERT में example दिए उतना ही करना है. Because only for the 192 question, if you are try to read each and every concept is very difficult. Try to focus on the modification part because modification से ही question बनेंगे. And not if you are not comfortable with doing root, stem or the leaf part, but at least flower part तो पूरा करना है. Flower, estivation or the placentation part. So you have to do that. And again, floral family economic importance. That part also important. Done? Okay. So use photo memory for this entire chapter. Chal. Should I continue with the next chapter? Should I continue? Okay, Pratyusha. Okay. So now we are talking about next chapter. Very easy. Again, I'm telling you only one question coming from this chapter and name of the chapter reproduction in plant. Actually, name of the chapter is reproduction in organism. 50% plant है, 50% zoo है. But now I'll complete only plant part. Okay? Because maximum part we already covered in plant kingdom. We already covered in morphology. So in this point of view, I just explain only name. Just I mentioned that. बाकी का आप लोग कर लेना. So during the reproduction of the organism, very much common question. And this common question again, it is very common for the botany as well as zoo. What is meaning of the lifespan? Lifespan nothing but you know very well period from birth up to natural death of organism. Okay? So time period. Time period from birth to natural death, not accidental death. Okay? So that total lifespan, whatever we are talking about, total lifespan is that whatever the time is there, so that total time period, simply it is called as lifespan. One important question, lifespan it is not correlated with size and complexity of organism. Very important point. Lifespan is not correlated with size as well as complexity. Size as well as the complexity of organism. So to understand this concept, we are taking one example, that is one bird, that is crow, and we compare this with parrot bird. So when you compare crow as well as the parrot, approximately size of that both bird, they are same. Whenever we are talking about the size parameter, crow and the parrot size, they are approximately same. But when you compare this point with their lifespan, okay, so crow lifespan approximately 15 years, and when you compare about the parrot, they can live up to 140 years. So please remember this point, lifespan, that is total time period from birth up to natural death, it is not correlated with size as well as it is not correlated with complexity of organism. You can remember another example also, mango and the people. Mango basically they having the shorter lifespan, mango plant. But when you compare that plant with people it having quite larger than mango. But mango and the people, they are morphologically similar. So please remember this point. This, whenever we are talking about the lifespan, they are not related with their size as well as their complexity. ये था first point according to NEET point of view. Definition पे question नहीं बनेगा, you know very well. But whenever we are talking about the point, this point is important. Now I am talking about the second important point. Question. All organism, you know very well, अगर हमारा birth हुआ है तो कभी ना कभी हमारी death होगी, you know very well. But we are talking about one exception case with immortal concept. So you know very well, all organisms they are mortal, right? But we are talking about the exception case, except single celled organism. Single celled organism, like you can say that is single unicellular organism, basically like bacteria or some protista. So single means all protista actually. So single celled organism. Now what happened in this condition? All those are showing immortal concept. They are immortal. So why we say single celled organism, they are immortal? Simple condition, yes, unicellular pratyusha, that is called as a single celled organism. Normally what happen when you compare, sound is okay, sound is okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, okay. Okay, yeah. So now what happened? What is meaning of the immortal concept? Normally now what happened when you compare about the single celled organism, there is a no senescence of the single cell, because normally now what happens? Suppose these are the one cell. ये एक cell है, that is we are talking about, these are the parent cell. Unicellular है, parent cell है. Now such parent cell, they undergo the process of the division. They undergo the process of the division. And now what happened? During the division, mother body, whatever the entire mother body is present, that mother body, they divide into two daughter cells. So mother cell, they undergo the division and finally they form two daughter cells. So these are the daughter cells. So now what happened? During the condition, when we are talking about the cells from parent cell, they undergo the division and they form a daughter cells. Means क्या हो रहा है? For example, एक body है, एक body के दो टुकड़े हो रहे हैं. One body. Normally what happen whenever we are talking about the cell cycle, cell division parameters, one cell it is undergo the division process, they form a two daughter cells, and now whatever the mother cells, that mother cell it is undergo the process of senescence. But in this point, when we are talking about the unicellular organism, parent body, whatever these are the single cell body, and that parent body, they are showing growth, they are, and they again they are showing division pattern. So यहाँ पे एक important step होगा. First step, there is a growth, and the second step, that is division. So single body, parent body, they divide into two. So that's why when we are talking about such kind of this condition, there is a no apoptosis, there is a no senescence process. And you know very well, senescence nothing but programmed cell death, natural death normally, that is called as the senescence. But when you consider this point with respect to single celled organism, simply parent body hoga, parent body they get enlarged, and now their body is divided into two. In other language, आप ऐसे भी समझ सकते हो, suppose ये one cell है, now the one cell it is undergo the growth and almost it is get double, इतना बन गया. And now division, and during the division parameter, their body they get divided into two equal half. So first phase क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? Growth. After the growth, they obtain the sufficient size. And second step, now there is a division. So normally what happened? Normally, whenever we are talking about the process, now each and every organism they are showing division parameter, they can divide, and whatever the old cells are there, that old cells, whatever the mother cells are there, they undergo the apoptosis process, natural senescence process. But these are the exception case for the single celled organism, because they are showing growth, body get enlarged, and now they divide into two equal half and they form a two daughter cells. Got it? So these are the second important parameter. All organisms, they are mortal except single celled organism. Clear? Pooja. Okay? So now we are talking about reproduction. Second parameter. Deepika. Reproduction again, it is divided into two types, that is asexual and the sexual. Asexual reproduction and another one, that is sexual reproduction. So quickly we are taking first parameter. What is meaning of the asexual mode of reproduction? Obviously, asexual means first step. In this point of view, basically these are the uniparental condition. only single parent is get involved, uniparental. Another one, during the asexual mode of reproduction, gamete formation can be occur. So gamete formation can be occur, मतलब present भी हो सकता है or they are absent also. Gamete can be formed or maybe not formed, but 100% there is a no gamete fusion. And no gamete fusion means simply we are talking about there is a no fertilization. So gamete present or absent, both conditions are present, but there is a 100% no gamete fusion. And the another point, obviously here we are talking about single parent is get involved, only single parent, मतलब combination नहीं हो रहा है. Gamete they get formed, and now that gamete they are showing division process like mitosis, and they form a new organism simply by the asexual mode of reproduction. So no gamete fusion means there is a no variation. So whatever offspring get formed, whatever the children get formed, all those offspring, they are clones, right? And clone means what? That is morphologically and the genetically similar with each other. Question. So during the asexual mode of reproduction, single parents get involved, no variation, no fertilization process. That's why whatever the genetic material is present, that genetic material as it is, they transfer from parent to their progeny, parent to their offspring. So that's why we are talking about they can form a clone, and clone nothing but they are morphologically plus genetically exactly identical to their parents. They are similar. Okay, simple definition for the clone. Next point, we are talking about occurrence, where such type of the sexual mode of reproduction is present. Occurrence, first one we are talking about, they are very much common in single celled organism. And you know very well, in case of the single celled organism, mostly they are belonging to category that is kingdom Monera, that is bacteria, and as well as kingdom Protista, because all they are unicellular. So kingdom Protista and the kingdom Monera, they are showing asexual mode of reproduction, which is a very much common. As well as we are talking about second point, they are also present in few plants, like we are talking about algae, because you know very well, algae basically these are the part of lower organism. It is a part of the lower plant. So algae may be present hoga, as well as such type of this condition also present in case of the fungi also, right? Because fungus also they are showing the haplontic life cycle. So obviously in case of the fungi also they are also showing such kind of the asexual mode of reproduction. But we are taking one another condition, they are also present in higher plant, but we are not using the word asexual mode of reproduction. Specifically we are using the word vegetative reproduction, that is vegetative propagation. Got it? So please remember one thing, जब कभी भी आपको word करना है, use, because whenever we are talking about the vegetative reproduction, these are also part of the asexual mode of reproduction, because single parent is get involved. But when you are using reproduction specifically asexual mode of reproduction, asexual, because हम आगे types देखेंगे. So that asexual mode of reproduction, it is very much common in single celled organism, algae, even in case of the fungi also. But in case of the higher plant like angiosperm, that time you have to use word vegetative propagation. You are not using the word asexual. Please remember this point, because asexual may be single parent involved, even in case of the vegetative reproduction also single parent is involved. But now what happened, different condition is present, because हम आगे देखेंगे vegetative propagation means what, from the leaf root will be arise and now they form a complete plantlet. From the stem it is they can form a complete plantlet. Even small section of any bird they can form a complete plantlet. So that is a part of the vegetative reproduction, right? Vegetative propagation specifically. So these are the common occurrence. which is come under the part that is asexual mode of reproduction. Single parent is involved. Very simple. These are the fast process as well as the number of the progeny. They are also present in high amount. ठीक है चलो. Should I continue with the next part? Types of asexual mode of reproduction. I'm just taking an example because यहाँ से question नहीं बनेगा on diagram. So that is a wastage of time. Should I continue? Okay. So one point, first point we are talking about first type. First of all, asexual reproduction types. Okay. These are the title and we are taking the types like we'll discuss what is meaning of binary fusion. Then we discuss what is meaning of the process of the budding. Then we discuss what is meaning of the spore formation because ये हम सब कुछ पहले देख चुके हैं. Spore formation. And next one that is vegetative propagation, which is a present in higher plant like angiosperm. ठीक है, 4 types in plant reproduction actually. zoo में देखोगे तो थोड़ा सा अलग होगा. So I'm taking only plant part. First of all, we are talking about that is binary fission. You know very well, binary fission basically it is very much common in case of the bacteria because bacteria also they are showing binary fission. Mitochondria, chloroplast also they are showing the binary fission. But according to our syllabus, we are talking about one very unique example that is amoeba. Amoeba. Okay. Normally, you know very well, binary fission. It's very much common in case of the Monera, as well as it is very much common in case of the Protista also, and as well as it is very much common in case of 2 organelle like chloroplast organelle and the another one organelle that is mitochondria. Because chloroplast and the mitochondria हम आगे देखेंगे in cell chapter in next chapter because they are maximum 70th type of ribosome, even they having their genetic material, so maximum they are similar to bacteria, but part of eukaryotic system. So Monera, Protista, chloroplast, mitochondria, they are showing binary fission type of the division. Please remember one thing, whenever we are talking about the binary fission, in this point of view, there is a equal division. Equal division means what? Equal karyokinesis as well as the equal cytokinesis process is present. So equal karyokinesis, that is nuclear division, as well as equal cytokinesis process also present. And cytokinesis process means what? Cytoplasmic division. तो दोनों equal होगा. ये part हम cell cycle cell division में देखेंगे, not now. Another point, we are talking about budding process. Normally, you know very well, budding process, it is very much common in unicellular fungi. And the example for unicellular fungi, tell me. Example for the unicellular fungi. Yeast, very good. Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Now, when we are talking about the budding, हमने वहां पे भी discuss किया था. There is a formation of the bud, but in this condition, whenever we are talking about the bud, in case of the budding condition, equal karyokinesis होगा. Whatever the genetic material, they get distributed into 2 daughter cells, they are equal. But please remember, in this condition, unequal cytokinesis will be occur. That is cytoplasmic division, they are unequal. That's why what happened after the process, now what we say, unequal cytokinesis process is present. So what we say, now what happened after the division process, now what, one single bud they represent as a new daughter cell. So daughter cell, they have the same kind of the nucleus genetic material equal होगा, but whatever the cytoplasmic content, एक सेल में ज्यादा होगा, किसी एक सेल में कम होगा, because bud means nothing but they give rise to new daughter cell. But you know very well, if nucleus it is present in a equal amount, if they are present in a same concentration, So via that nucleus, they undergo the replication, they undergo the transcription, they undergo the translation, growth hoga, division hoga, and now they can occupy the original size and shape which is similar to mother cell. तो अगर इक्वल कैरियोकाइनेसिस हो रहा है, that is important. If small size cell form or if small size daughter cell form due to less concentration of the karyokinesis, but that same cell they undergo the growth, they undergo the process of the division, and they can form a original size which is similar to mother cell. न्यूक्लियस इंपॉर्टेंट है, अगर न्यूक्लियस होगा तो सेल सब कुछ करेगा. दे कैन फॉर्म देयर ओन प्रोटीन, दे कैन फॉर्म देयर ओन एंजाइम्स, आरएनए, डीएनए, एवरीथिंग दे कैन फॉर्म. तो बडिंग प्रोसेस में अनइक्वल डिवीजन है, मींस इक्वल कैरियोकाइनेसिस एंड अनइक्वल साइटोकाइनेसिस. गॉट इट? ओके. Third example, we are talking about spore formation, that is sporulation. I hope you remember when you already start the chapter biological classification, in that spore formation we already discussed algae. Number one, algae they can form a spore, and algae they form zoospore. And you know very well, zoospore basically they are motile, right? Zoospore they are motile. And the another example who responsible for the spore formation, that is fungi. And in case of the fungi, we are talking about there is a formation of the conidia, because the asexual spore, it is not a sexual spore. Please remember, whatever we are talking about this spore, all they are spore, they are asexual, because from single parent it get involved. So all they are asexual spore. So we are taking conidia, and conidia basically they are non-motile. Okay? In case of the zoospore condition, we already discussed one example, that is Chlamydomonas, who has the two flagella. Motile hoga. Chlamydomonas. Which is a unicellular green alga. And in case of the conidia, हमने example देखा था penicillium. It is very much common in case of the penicillium, which is belonging to class that is Ascomycetes. Got it? So spore formation, please remember, according to our syllabus, we are taking one, that is algae, that is zoospore, motile spore, example Chlamydomonas. Another spore formation is present in case of the fungi, and in case of the fungi, we are taking the conidia, and conidia they form non-motile spores, example penicillium. Okay? And if you want, you can revise this part. In case of the bryophyta, in case of the pteridophyta, in case of the gymno, as well as in case of the angio, such type of the mitospore formation, because it's a product of mitosis, right? They are asexual spore, or sometimes these are also called as the mitospore, because single parent is get involved, simply mitosis process हो रहा है, so that's why it is also called as the mitospore, that is product of mitosis. So mitospore, they are totally absent. Then spore formation, very unique, very short information. So just revise the previous part also, so we'll get the clear cut idea. Spore formation, asexual spore, also called as the mitospore, because they are product of mitosis. Edric, Deepika, अभिलाषा, चिराग, चिराग नहीं है आज, पिछले. Okay, Rebecca is there, Tusha, Tanvi, Suraj, Sia. Okay, next part we are talking about last one, number 4, vegetative propagation. Okay. So last one we are talking about vegetative propagation. ये पार्ट भी हम देख चुके हैं मॉर्फोलॉजी चैप्टर. Vegetative propagation nothing but again these are the one type of the asexual mode of reproduction, but we never say asexual because whenever we are talking about the vegetative propagation, in this concept there is a one somatic part is there. Plant, it has some somatic part. Plant somatic part exactly. And you know very well somatic part means what? Except gynoecium and the androecium, means except flower you can select as a bird, any root, stem, leaf, any part. They are represented as a somatic part. So that somatic part simply it is called as propagules. Propagules. Okay. So as a propagules, you can use root, you can use leaf portion, you can use any bird portion, you can use any stem portion. So except flower, you can use anything. So that somatic part who undergo the growth development and they can form a new plant leaf. So whenever we are talking about the vegetative propagations, under that point we are talking about types. Basically two types only. One type that is natural vegetative propagation. So we'll discuss that part very quickly because ये जो part है, entire part we already discussed in morphology chapter, natural one. And the another part we are talking about artificial. So we'll discuss in next class what is meaning of the artificial vegetative propagation. Okay. In case of the artificial one, we'll discuss one method, what is meaning of the layering, another method, grafting, and third one, cutting. So these are the three basic methods, layering, grafting, and the cutting. So first of all, we start with the very quickly, what is meaning of natural vegetative propagation. ये पार्ट हम सब कुछ देख चुके, so I just enlisting the name. That's it. In this point of view, you have to remember what is the examples for underground stem. So I just enlist the name here. Under the underground stem, हमने देखे थे rhizome, first category. Then we already discussed about the corm category. Then third, we already discussed tuber, and the last one that is bulb category. So first point that is underground stem. Another point हमने पहले ही देखा था, there is a presence of the bird. What is meaning of the bird? Types of bird, that is auxiliary bird, stem bird, that is adventitious bird, everything. So under the bird, we already discussed what is meaning of the nodal bird. So quickly revise that part. And the another word, adventitious bird. Bird arise from anywhere except nodal bird. Bird. ये भी हमने देख चुके हैं. Next we are talking about, there is a present number third, subaerial stem. Subaerial stem part, and under this subaerial stem, quickly tell me which four types we'll discuss. We already discussed this part. We already studied this part. Subaerial stem. Quickly tell me four types. Quickly. Yes, runner, stolen, offset, and the sucker. Very good. So we'll already studied this part. Number one, that is runner, which is very much common in terrestrial grasses. Then this stolen, very much common in case of the jasmine. Offset, very much common in case of the aquatic plant like Ecornia pristia. And the finally, that is sucker, very much common in case of chrysanthemum. Next one, large fleshy bird, that is bulbils. That is large fleshy bird. ये भी हम देख चुके हैं. With example, that is cola. I hope you remember. C for the chlorophyllum, O for the oxalis, L for the lily, and the A for the agave. So bulbil category also. And the fifth one, Again, we are talking about there is a presence of the aerial stem, tendril part, shoot part, node, internode, everything. That is a part of the aerial stem, everything. Okay. Now we are taking very important type under this point means how that foliar bird. Fifth one, I'm talking about sixth one. Sorry, we are talking about that is foliar bird, and you know very well, foliar nothing but leaves consist of bird. Foliar bird also called as the leaf bird. Important question. हम दो एग्जाम्पल देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Example we are talking about bryophyllum. First example, bryophyllum. You know very well, in case of the bryophyllum, now there is a presence of the bird. That bird basically is called as the foliar bird, and that bird present on the margin. Simply, we are talking about bird present on margin of leaf. Margin of leaf. Suppose the leaf है. These are the bryophyllum leaf. And now notch are present on the margin. तो यहाँ पे notch present है. So these are the area where bird can be present like this. These are the bird, nothing but we are talking about where the birds are present. Birds are present on the margin. Please underline bird. Bryophyllum, bird present on the margin. Another example to create confusion. Also as the adding term. I hope remember हम adding term की condition में हमने देखा. Adding term is also called as the walking phone. And what's the reason? Adding term is also called as walking phone. Why? Adding term is also called as walking phone. Because yes, they grow from the leaf tip, obviously. And why is such having? Because whatever we are talking about the leaf bird or that foliar bird, so that bird present on the tip of the leaf. Wait a second. Because in this condition, whatever we are talking about that bird, that is foliar bird present on leaf tip. यहाँ पे tip है. In case of the bryophyllum, margin word is there. So suppose we are talking about the leaf है. These are the walking fern leaf. Like this. And now, bird they are present on the tip like this. So these are the bird which is present on the tip. Got it? Very simple method. Done this part? We are not saying that is a apical bird. We are using the bird that is a foliar bird. Apical bird means what? Which is present on the apex. Apex of shoot, not apex of leaf. Because यहाँ पे हम leaf के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. If that bird it is present on the apex position or the apical position of the shoot, that time we have to use the word apical bird. यहाँ पे tip पे present है. That's why we are using the word foliar bird. Got it? Okay, chalo. Now second parameter. These are the all example for the natural vegetative propagation. Now we are talking about artificial method. artificial, vegetative propagation. And just we discussed basically three types only. Number one, that is layering, then grafting, and third one, that is cutting. So first one we are talking about method, that is layering method. Very simple. Whenever we are talking about the layering method, root basically they induce on branch stem, right? But when they attach to the plant body, layering method, simple method hai. Root induce on stem, but when it's still attached to, it still attached to plant body, such type of the condition, such type of this method, these are called as the layering method. Basically now what happened during the layering method, simple plant presented, we have to create a specific type of the cut, right? And through that cut some hormone gets secreted, and now they can induce a new root, and from the root new plantlet can be observed. So for example, we are taking a very simple diagrammatic explanation so we get the clear cut idea. Suppose ये soil है, these are the soil layer, okay? Inside the soil we are talking about there is a presence of, these are the root, so roots are present. Now there is a formation of the shoot system, multiple leaves also present like this. Okay, but now what happened, whatever we are talking about, these are the last one, ये जो हमारा last है, this one, this thing we have to bend like this. So basically whatever the leaves are present we have to remove it, we have to tip region it should be upright, or whatever the entire we have to create a specific type of the cut. And now we have to simply burrow, simply that stem part we have to put inside the soil. And now after the cutting ultimately they can secrete us some specific kind of the chemical, and now cell division they get induced and formation of the new root. So just see what happened in this diagram. Suppose ये stem का part, I am selecting which one, that is last thing. ठीक है? Remember this point whenever we are talking about layering method. During the layering method, you have to select a stem. That stem should be soft. Stem should be soft as well as stem should be flexible because यहाँ पे bending होगा. These are very very important process. So suppose I'm selecting this one. हमने इसको bend किया, and now after the bending it will be look like this. These are the area where we have to create a cut, and due to that cutting process, new root can be initiated like this. New root, but these are the root. Basically, it is not a true root. These are the adventitious root. Adventitious root. So I'm telling you some flowchart. What happened during this process? First of all, first step, select a soft and flexible stem. First step. Second step, remove leaves from stem. Because हमने ये इस stem को हमने select किया, we select this stem. We have to use the flexible first of all. Now remove leaves from the stem. These are the second step. Now another one, create a cut. Create a cut on stem. Again. Screen is get frozen. So next one, that is create a cut. And now what happened due to that cutting process? Now there is a synthesis of healing hormone. Synthesis of a hormone. And that healing hormone, nothing but we are talking about auxin, and more specifically we are talking about traumatic acid. Traumatic acid, and such traumatic acid also called as auxin. राइट आपने स्टेम सिलेक्ट किया, यू रिमूव ऑल द लीव्स, नाउ उसको बेंड करो, यू हैव टू पुट इनसाइड द सॉइल. नाउ व्हाट हैपन आफ्टर द फ्यू डेज, जहां पे हमने कट क्रिएट किया था, दैट एरिया दे स्टार्ट सिंथेसिस ऑफ द सम हार्मोन, एंड नेम ऑफ द हार्मोन दैट इज ट्रामेटिक एसिड. Traumatic acid also, these are the one type of the auxin, you know very well. Due to that hormone, now ultimately cell division process can be start, because auxin and the cytokinin, they are both responsible for the cell division, and due to cell division process, now root start initiation, root get initiation, they get initiated, and once there is a formation of the root, so finally there is a formation of the new plantlet, new plantlet they get formed. So क्या process हो रहा है, what is meaning of the layering? During the layering process, now what happened, formation of the new plantlet, but that plantlet it's still attached to their mother plant. हमने एक stem को select किया, remove all the leaves, उसको bend किया, some stem part it should be deep inside the soil. After cutting हमने cut create किया, okay, because that cut area now that secrete a specific type of the hormone, healing hormone. Name of the hormone traumatic acid. Traumatic acid, they are one type of the auxin, and you know very well auxin basically they are responsible for root induction. If auxin they can synthesize, means that plant they can synthesize auxin, means from that area first of all root get initiated. You know very well, if there is a formation of the new root, that is root, it is not a tap root, because root they arise from the stem, right? We create a cut. After the cut, now the hormone gets secreted auxin. Due to auxin, root get initiated, and now that all that root, they are adventitious root. And now what happen, once root get formed, finally entire shoot will be developed, and now they are formation of the new plantlet. Therefore finally there is a formation of the new plantlet. So such method, these are called as a layering method. I'm repeating over this point again. During the layering method, root induction करना है हमें. First of all, you have to create cut, but जो कुछ भी new plantlet form होगा, all those new plantlet they still attach to mother plant. So select a stem. Stem should be soft. Stem should be flexible. Create a cut. Now due to that area, plant naturally they secrete the auxin, that is traumatic acid. Cell division rate will be increased. Root get initiated, and once root get initiated, now shoot system will be developed, and now finally formation of the new plantlet. Such method, these are called as the layering method. Got it? Clear? Few steps are important. Number one, plant should be root initiation from the stem. First of all, now you have to create a cut. Third one, that plant, new plantlet, they should attach to the parent plant. And the fourth one, synthesis of auxin, that is traumatic acid, and such traumatic acid they initiated the root initiation, they increase the cell division process, and finally there is a formation of the new plantlet. Such method, these are called as the layering method. Done? Okay, chalo. So any doubt from today's class?